Well, there's several factors that are influencing growth in the diagnostics and medical device space. On the diagnostic side, there's a lot of demand for new technologies to better gauge risk for disease, better diagnose disease, measuring disease progression and activity. And then one of the fastest growing areas is really using diagnostics to identify the most appropriate treatment regimens for patients, in particular in the areas of oncology. On the device side, the trends are much more focused on really addressing some of the issues that are encountered with long-term use of pharmaceuticals, in particular improving adherence, reducing toxicity, and really just introducing more targeted therapies to address the needs of these patient populations. As far as some of the factors that are driving the growth in these areas, really there's several things. First of all, there's a lot of pressure from the insurance companies to reduce spend on pharmaceutical products as well as unnecessary medical procedures. Within the pharmaceutical space, there's also a lot of pressure to make sure that patients are getting the correct therapy. So you'll hear a lot of talk about companion diagnostics now, which helps to make sure that, for example, in late stage cancer, only the patients who really need these really expensive therapies receive them. And then the other key area is really around measuring outcomes and making sure that the procedures and the products that patients are receiving are doing what they're supposed to do. So by leveraging devices and diagnostics, doctors are able to better gauge what's working, what's not working, how far along someone's disease, for example, so that they can make better decisions around how to treat their patients. The big challenge for the pharmaceutical companies is to figure out, how do you make sure you're bringing these new companion diagnostics to market in the right way? And how do you maximize the potential of recognizing some revenue, even in situations where the diagnostic shows that this patient might not necessarily be a good candidate for therapy? There are several challenges in particular that are impacting the lab-developed testing space. The major issues that they encounter are, first of all, that any company that's going to launch a product in that space is going to be doing it alone. So they're a sole source provider, which means that they bear all the costs associated with bringing that product to market. So there's several cost pressures that they're going to face, having to build their own lab, having to bring on their own sales force, as well as doing all their clinical trial development on their own. That is further complicated by the fact that most of the companies entering that space are being backed by venture capital firms. And access to early stage venture funding is somewhat tight, and there's a lot of pressure from their investor bases to make sure that they're showing adoption and reimbursement quickly, which is somewhat counterproductive to the long-term success of some of these diagnostics. One of the biggest factors within the IVD and device market is the fact that, unlike lab-developed tests, all these products have to go through the FDA approval or clearance process, which makes the time to go to market much longer and, of course, much more expensive. They have the same kind of challenges that the lab-developed test industry faces, in the fact that they're somewhat heavily backed by venture capital firms. And then they're also facing some other challenges around some pending changes in coding guidelines. So there's a lot of pressure to reduce reimbursements for several codes on the physician fee schedule as well as on the clinical lab fee schedule. And this could put some pressure on how much revenue manufacturers can recognize in that space. Within big pharma and companion diagnostics, the issues are a little bit different. Companion diagnostics are a rather new phenomenon that the FDA is pushing the pharmaceutical companies to introduce. So pharmaceutical companies really have little to no knowledge of how the diagnostic and device space work. And there's a lot of concern from them on how these new devices and diagnostics could impact their revenue model.